Nigga got these fucking clogs on, nigga.
Bruh.
Can't walk.
These motherfuckers definitely is. I told you they peeped up.
You could have set it back there.
Oh God.
Bro, allergy season is a bitch.
Bro,
Got this nigga out of breath.
I'm
Can't
dying,
breathe.
bro. It's like I could feel every orifice on my face,
You got sweat beads.
bro.
Dude, you are sweating right now.
Bro.
Are you sure all you got is allergies going on? I ain't, brother. Social distance. Hey, our next episode will be via Zoom.
Bro, allergies are kicking.
He'll be in a hospital hooked up to an IV.
They kicking my ass, bro. That's the one thing I hate about the spring, bro. And it's like I can feel it.
Feel it in the air.
Well, no, not even the air. Like I feel it, like on me, like within me. Like I mean, like I can tell when my allergies starting to ramp up. I don't necessarily feel dry, but I feel clammy.
Yeah.
Like my lips, my lips ain't dry, but they feel like I don't know. It's like a weird feel, bro. It's like a sticky, moist type of feel with like paws, my mouth and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when it gets around like allergies and spring season and shit like that, bro. Be fucking with me, bro.
Nah, I mean, bro, like I suffer bad. Well, actually, not as bad. I don't even want to go there, bro, because it's like these last few years have been good.
Yeah.
These last few allergy seasons, they have been compared to like previous
years.
Like previous years, bro. And honestly, I feel like it's probably just like my immune system building because I work outside every day. Before I started working outside every day, bro, like nah. And actually, before I like got into like a solid career path, I would pick jobs strategically.
So you wouldn't have to be outside?
Yep. Sure would.
No, when I was
stayed at a temp service, bro, and if the temp service had like outdoor gigs, like this time of the year, no, I need to be indoors.
Yeah.
Got to be indoors.
Not going. I can't, yeah. No, that's when I was working outside. See, it's crazy because like when I was working outside, it wasn't that bad. I think kind of like what you said, like you kind of like your body kind of gets like you still had your allergies, of course.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as like it didn't feel as chronic.
Headaches.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it didn't. Well, I never really get headaches from my allergies. When my allergies get bad, bro, I get sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
I look more tired than normal because my eyes get real red. Like, you know, like eye drops can't help with that shit. Like that's just what it is. I'm always gonna be itching, rubbing my eyes type shit. And like I said, bro, like 2 days ago, I started to feel like I wasn't like, you know, like when like you dehydrated and you're like, damn, bro, I need some water, I need something to drink, right? I wasn't dehydrated, but it kind of felt like I was. Like I could kind of feel it in like my face, like I'm not dehydrated, but I feel like I need water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mine's is I know that feeling that you're talking about. For me, it's more like a taste though. Like it tastes like tissues. It's like a metallic taste.
What do you call like tissue, like tissue paper or skin tissue?
Tissue paper.
Okay. Why are you eating tissue paper?
I'm not eating tissue paper,
So
but you know how you can smell. Sometimes you can smell something, and it's like it's on my like. I don't know how to describe it. You just made me feel weird as hell, though. But
what do you mean?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by it tastes like tissue?
What are you trying to get at?
Nah, but for real, it's like a tissue smell and taste. And I was later told it's not tissues, it's metallic. Like, and I still don't even really know what that is, but
Okay.
other than the taste. But I was like, I guess metallic. It was like, yeah, like pennies, nickels, dimes, that sort of thing. And they was like, pretty much.
So
But
like,
I know then, like, okay, allergies is finna take off.
so like coochie,
Nah,
like skin,
nah.
like the inside of your jaw.
That's a feeling though.
No, it's a taste.
You can taste the inside of your jaw.
I mean, there is a taste.
If you could taste the inside of your jaw, brother, you need help.
No, it's just skin.
Yeah, but when like if you lick the inside of your jaw right now,
Yeah.
you can't taste that.
Well, I'm not. Yes, for currently because it's gonna taste like fucking Sprite and Skittles because I just ate that, right? But if I go umpteen hours without eating anything or consuming anything, it's gonna have a taste. It's gonna taste like jaw.
That's bacteria.
No, it's not. That's how not bad breath bacteria.
Dre, don't do this.
No, I'm being dead ass serious.
Don't do this.
The inside of your mouth
Don't do
has
this.
it's the same.
That's bacteria,
No,
brother.
it's not. No, it's not.
Have you ever licked your hand and then let it dry and then
Why
smelled
are
it
you licking your hand?
to see if your breath?
Hold on, stop. Hold on, what?
I'm really self-conscious. I'm really
activities?
self-conscious
Why
about
are
like
you licking your hand like a cat?
I'm big on like foul breath.
Facts.
So like, and not big in the sense of like, oh, I want to smell foul breath. It's
No,
like I'm
you
self-conscious about like
about it, right?
my own
Yes.
breath being funky because I have a very sensitive
Yeah,
sense of smell.
for sure.
So like for me, like how you were saying, like that dry feeling, for me, I would lick my hand, let that dry, and then smell it and be like, it's cool.
This nigga turned into.
And if it was foul, bro, I'm getting
Okay.
toothbrush and paste.
Where did you learn this from?
I just
What I'm saying.
honest to God, I thought everybody was doing it.
No, niggas don't lick their hand to test their bad breath.
Well, I mean, putting your hand up to your mouth and you really can't smell that for real.
Bro, you can taste when you have bad breath.
You definitely can.
So that's it. Put like if you feel like you need to brush your teeth, go brush your teeth, bro.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
If you feel like your
fucking
breath
much.
stink, get you a piece of gum, pop some Listerine strips, but don't nigga lick this
Maybe they don't
paw.
even make Listerine strips no more.
See, I ain't had one in forever, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, bro, I've never heard somebody licking their paw, their hand.
No.
Nigga turned into Garfield.
Why I gotta be Garfield though? Why? Because I'm yellow and brown?
Well, first I said Sylvester.
What the fuck?
First I said Sylvester.
That would have been better.
I said Sylvester first, but then I was like, nah, the kids might not know, but everybody know Garfield.
Everybody knows Tom and Jerry too. You could
They
say
do.
Tomcat.
I could have said Tom. I could have said Tom. I definitely could have said.
Either way it goes, all three of those cats is horrible.
No, Tom was actually cool. You know what I heard about Tom? I heard that Tom. So the rumor is, because all these shows they usually have like, rumors are little tidbits that come out later.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that Tom and Jerry are actually best friends.
No.
But what it is, the owner wants him to kill Jerry. So Tom has to make it look like he's always chasing Jerry, right? So that another cat won't actually get moved in and actually kill Jerry.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? That's why he never really gets him.
Yeah.
Because they really buddies. But he knows that, nigga, if I just don't at least attempt to do the job, she's going to bring in a cat that's really going to go kill Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
So let me act like I'm doing my
You think
job.
so though? Jerry's pretty smart. He's pretty sad.
Yeah, but again though, if a cat,
his cousin with the hat and the yellow shirt,
if a cat was to actually have that attempt to get rid of Jerry, I believe they probably would have.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna give a cat 400 times to catch this one.
Which one of Jerry's cousins was probably like the coldest though?
I don't know, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. You know a little bit too much about Tom and Jerry.
Bro, Jerry had a cousin that played the
I
guitar.
only know two mice:
And
Speedy Gonzalez and Jerry the Mouse.
What about Mighty Mouse? You know Mighty Mouse?
Okay, yeah, that's three.
Yeah.
And Mickey. So I know four.
Yeah.
I know
Minnie.
Okay, I know 5.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think that might be.
But they not even related. You talking about Jerry's family tree, his lineage.
You know Stuart Little. He was a mouse.
He was a mouse. Why do you bringing up Stuart Little?
Because you was like, I only know 2 mouse.
Well, yeah,
Nice.
initially, but no, Jerry.
But anyways,
Yeah,
Jerry.
give us the background on Jerry's family.
Jerry had he he had an uncle. It was either uncle or a cousin. Motherfucker played a banjo, and he would be playing.
I remember that.
He would be playing it so rough, his string would pop. When he would be like, "Man, I need another string." Then you see he seen Tom
and rip
one of his whiskers off, bro. He stole every single whisker in that episode. Boom. Then, bro, I remember he was watching the TV.
I think I remember
like the very last tap, but right before it went off, he was on TV playing the banjo, bro. His whisker popped. Tom sitting at the TV, he spit his drink out. He's dying laughing. Bro reached through the TV, popped that whisker.
Was he the one with the white? He had a white shirt, like a red handkerchief on, I think.
He had like the crazy mustache,
like the mariachi band mustache, like a little. Okay, I think I
went on heat and riding.
Yeah, I remember the episode.
Yeah,
I remember the episode.
And then he had the cousin that was like a gangster, had the round top hat.
I remember that one too.
The yellow shirt, black cufflinks on the shirt, and he was just like had hands.
Yeah, he was beating the shit out of Tom.
And then the other cousin was the younger one that had the sword, and he would like.
I remember the sword episode. I remember the sword episode.
Touche.
Yeah, I remember the sword episode.
Yeah.
See,
so you know.
Yeah, but I would see. But as a kid watching, I'm under the impression, nigga, that's just Jerry.
Just another mouse.
That's just Jerry. I'm looking at it as just Jerry. Jerry fucking with Tom, doing weird shit. Like I just as a kid, that's what I didn't know that was like his actual. So they had actual family members. I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's why that lady wanted that nigga killed, because he had his whole family living in that wall.
Well, I mean, that's mice.
Yeah. No, for sure. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But anyways.
Well, thanks for the info from our fellow mouse extraordinaire.
Yeah. Mouse extraordinaire. Allergies
sufferer. Allergies are kicking my ass, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's only gonna get worse.
Nah, bro.
Nah, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, if it's March and we heading into spring and May and you already acting like this, yeah.
It's gonna happen. I'm not acting like nothing. Why you being weird to me? Nigga, the allergies is doing. I ain't do shit. I've been chill. I woke up and said, damn, the weather's changed. I said, oh shit.
But you ever wake up when it's raining and you be like, you could just tell like it's raining or something outside?
Yeah.
It's like harder to get up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially if it's like
even in the wintertime when it's snowing and shit.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. It is. Because the energy, bro, the air, the atmosphere changes, bro. It's like
gets heavy.
Yeah, bro. You just get more like you just don't end up not wanting to do shit. Like, not saying you don't want to do nothing, but you're like, bro, I ain't going outside.
Oh, no. That's exactly what it is. Bro. Call a spade a spade.
Yeah, I ain't about to go.
I mean, who really wants to go outside in the rain?
You'd be surprised. Would you rather drive in the rain or drive in the snow?
In the snow. It's more to look at.
What do you mean?
In the snow, it's more to look at than driving in the rain. Driving in the rain is just driving in the rain. But in the snow, you eventually gonna hit patches of pastures and stuff and just be like, damn, bro, like everything's covered in white. It's crazy.
Oh, you looking at it like a tourist.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like an adult.
The fuck?
Yeah,
Did you ask me a question?
Yes.
Did I answer it?
Yes, like a tourist.
Now, why are you trying to spin it?
No, because I'm saying, because you talking about the colors and all this other shit. I'm like,
yeah, I'm telling you why I'd rather drive in the snow versus the rain.
Yeah, but the view, the snow is snow. But I'm asking, like, if you had to go outside and it was like, look, you got to drive in either the snow or you got to drive in either the rain. As an adult, I would rather drive in the snow, depending on how bad the snow is.
What about my answer is an adultish?
Because you talking about the view. Don't nobody care about what that farm looks like, nigga. If we in a 20-foot snowstorm, fuck that farm.
But I gotta
get to work.
Let me give the adult answer. I'd rather drive in the snow because in the rain you got you running the risk of hydroplaning.
There's black ice.
There is black ice, but you got a better chance of salt being on the ground. Then eventually, the more people go, You feel me? And with the salt in, the drier it is, and then especially if the sun come out and shit, like you good to go, bro. It's pretty much the same, honestly. The only difference is there's snow and there's not snow.
It's a good answer.
That's the adult answer you was looking
That's
for.
the adult answer I was looking for.
God dang, bro. Start the damn show, man.
Well, welcome back to another episode of the You Gotta Relax podcast. I am your allergy riddled and clumsy croc wearing host, along with my guy Sonny. And we back.
It's your favorite uncle.
That is crazy, bro. You are reaching. You older than me. You are. We are official. This is Unc status.
Turned 33 on the 18th, my boy.
You know what I'm saying, I turned 33 in a week. Niggas is old, bro.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought
Niggas
you was
is
older
old.
than me.
Come on, man.
I did.
Crazy. You trying to say I look older than you?
Bro, you move, you walk older.
That's funny. That's funny as shit. Because somebody told me the other day, it was like, I see you. I said, where? Man, over there at the wing stop. I said, damn, you saw me.
He said, damn.
I said, damn, you saw me. Yeah, man, I thought it was you. Because you got a distinct walk. And I said, you son of a bitch. But I was like, I've heard that like 1,000 times, so it got to be true, bro. I was like, do I really have? Now I'm about to be self-conscious about my walking.
Because I am got my breath.
Yeah, but how can I? But how can I? I can't check every step I take.
I just glitched out bad. I said,
no, but it's like, how do you like? What's wrong with my walk? That's what I need to know. Is it something wrong with my walk, or it's just a walk that you like, bro? That is like that's you. You walk. That's how you walk.
You walk leaning forward,
like I'm top heavy.
No, more so like if I had to draw it out, it would be like straight. Okay, this is your body, like this, but your torso would be like this. It's like curved, like you got your shoulders kind of like up, and you leaning forward a little bit.
See, but that's not.
But
that's like my natural. Maybe I need to go to the chiropractor. But like that's like my natural, like if I like me doing this.
No, now I've watched you stand and you stand straight up. As soon as you take off walking. I don't know what it is, but your head drops forward, bro. Your shoulders come forward too, and you just be like,
I'm walking.
Like,
I mean, I don't know, bro. Shit, but I've been told I got a distinct walk, and I've always been like, I don't know if that's an insult. I know it ain't a compliment, but I don't know if it's an insult. I don't know if I should be alarmed.
You know what it is? It's you.
Yeah, no.
Accept it.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it because I've been told this for like I've literally been.
But you do have a distinct walk.
Yeah, I've been.
And it's not even so much.
High school.
I'm not saying like you walking, like you looking like you trying to get somewhere in a hurry.
Like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's not like that. But it's just. But I mean, also you tall and you got a big stature too. So it's like, man, like I've seen pictures of myself, kind of like humped over, and I'm thinking I'm standing up straight, and then I look at the picture and I'll be like, oh shit. Why was I leaning like that? Yeah. Why was I hunched over? And even doing doing this.
I'm gonna blame it on my leg.
Yeah, I was about to say that too, bro. I mean, you did the Michael Jackson going down the steps.
Bro, that was
crazy.
Here.
And I feel like you really had never bounced back.
Nah, I did. It stopped hurting after about 8 months. It was about 8 months of pain. It was rough. It was real. It was hard to get out of bed. It was hard to get in and out the car. My knees, bro, both knees was on constant fire for about 6-8 months, bro. It was bad. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I've been told by various people multiple times, like just over the past, I could say about 15 years, bro, since like my senior year of high school. I knew it was you because of the walk. That's it. I couldn't tell by the face. I didn't hear your voice, but God damn it, that fucking walk. I knew it was you. I never, at first I was like, okay, it's whatever. But then at the time I kept hearing, I said, man, what the fuck? What's wrong? What the fuck am I doing, bro? I got a hitch? Like, what the fuck am I doing like some unique shit? Like,
it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying it like that, but I'm just saying like, it's noticeable to where people can, that's him.
Everybody has that though. Everybody has that. If you're around somebody enough or you fuck with them enough, you'll notice there's certain things that they do that you could pick them out of a crowd. Whether they was, especially if they wasn't facing you, you would know by the way somebody, like for your wife, for instance.
Yeah.
If she was in a crowd amongst a bunch of people her height.
Uh-huh.
I guarantee from behind, like from the back of her head, you would be able to tell which one's her by the way she's standing or the way she's walking. See, that's that shit, bro.
No.
You just an asshole, bro. You don't.
No. No, because there's nothing distinct about.
So for $1 million, somebody was like, "At all these women, which one's your wife?" You wouldn't. There's nothing to watch what you about to say. That's why I stopped. So I cut you off because you was finna say something real crazy.
No,
and she was gonna fuck you up.
No. What I'm saying is,
what do you mean? There's nothing distinct about your wife? What do you mean?
You talking about the walk and the back of the head? Okay, it's two different conversations. Like
but that is the conversation.
So if they all have the same height and they all have the same a body type figure, like they look the same, right? And I'm just going off the back of their head and the fucking walk, right?
Yeah.
It's not a unique enough walk for me to be like, yo, that's her. Like I would have to go off of, I would need to hear voice and I would need to see movements. Like as far as, and it wouldn't have to be like movements from like the front or like the side. It could still be the back of the head, but I would need to see how the person would move in certain situations. So I would need to see, for a prime example,
Bro, let's say about your wife.
Yes, and I'm saying,
what do you mean, bro? Like y'all been married for years.
Yes,
you should know how your wife looks from behind.
Yes,
if she's in a crowd of people.
Yes, but what I'm saying is her walk isn't distinct to where I'm like, yo, that's her.
You know what's crazy? She would know yours.
A lot of people know my fucking. That's how we got here. That's the problem. It's too many people can identify me by my fucking walk. That's a bad thing. Bro, what if I had ops?
It's you.
But what if I had ops?
They probably wouldn't.
And I'm trying to hide.
And these are people who fuck with you. This is what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, if you got ops, that means even if they don't fuck with you, I know this nigga.
I mean, that's why you gotta be on point.
Man, I know it's this nigga in this aisle over here. Look at that walk.
Because I've been told I got a distinct walk. And then I've also, I have apparently a distinct voice. But I'm loud anyway. So
now, voice is different.
People see me. They see me before they hear me type shit. If I'm coming into a house or into a room and I'm talking to somebody outside, motherfuckers be like, "Oh, there can't be nobody but her."
No, for sure. But voice is different. So like voice, yeah. Like you have a unique voice.
And I mean, I'm awkwardly built. I'm built like a fucking middle-aged white guy. Like, I'm built like a horribly drawn stick figure.
Oh, shit. This nigga said he's built like a middle-aged white guy. That's fucking hilarious, bro.
Bro, like, I'm dead ass.
That is funny. That's funny. Nah, but
because it's like, bro, like it's like I'm big, but I'm not like sloppy.
Yeah, type shit. But
and I'm also kind of like I'm muscular, but I'm not like cut up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like when you ask that question, I'm like, if it's in a room where I can pick, all right, cool. Like I know the type of hair that she would usually have, the style. I know which type of clothes she would have on, cool. But if everybody is like the same, her walk wouldn't give her away. You know what I mean? Now my walk would probably give me away. If I was in a room with a bunch of niggas that look like me and built like me, my walk would probably give me away.
Yeah.
Now it's probably another person who looks like me, like not in the face, but just body size. They probably walk like me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I got the most unique walk, but for people over the past 10, 15 years, it'd be like, bro, I knew that was you because your walk. It just always sounded crazy to me, bro. And then when they say it and they tell me, yeah, and I was like, damn, that really was me. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How far would I know they went close and I didn't see you. I mean, you was 50 yards away and you spotted me? That's nuts. So not only am I large, Only am I ginormous to the average. But goddamn it, I got a unique walk
You do.
that people can be like, I know that nigga.
You know what it is? You walk like you got you walk like you got a light breeze to you.
I walk like a.
It's like it's straight, but it's like a slight sway.
That's how Stephen A. Smith be walking into them arenas for them games.
Type shit.
That's how he be walking
Yeah.
like he the man.
Yeah, you walk.
I walk like I'm the man.
That's your walk. You walk like a brisk, slight breezy day. It's like it's straight, but it is a little sway.
It's a little sway to it. Okay.
It is.
I guess we can segue into this topic then, since we done brought up SAS Stephen A. Smith. It's been a eventful week, I would say, for Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. What do you think about that whole beef? Because it's been brewing for years.
Been brewing for years.
It's been brewing. It's been kind of.
I'm glad it's finally happened.
Little tidbits here and there. What do you? Because I got my idea about what's going on, but what do you think about it?
I feel like it's for show, because it's like for something that's been going on for so long, and it's like, okay, cool. If y'all both call yourself respectable men and classy men, this conversation could have been had years ago.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It wouldn't have waited until some shit went viral at a basketball game, at the end of a game, and then boom, now we hear it.
It was not the end of the game.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
It was like a timeout or something?
It was in the third quarter.
Well, it wouldn't have happened at a game.
For sure.
With everybody.
But I'm just saying, I think that matters. I think that the optics of it being at the end or the beginning of the game versus the optics of it being literally in the thick of a game in the third quarter, in a game in which I think y'all went to overtime. Like, that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because it's like, nigga, you in the middle of a game. Like, okay, cool. You felt compelled or whatever, but blah, 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 but you in the middle of a game, bro. You in the middle at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You in the middle of work and you stepped outside to slap somebody.
Yeah.
During your shift. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Not saying he didn't slap him, but you get what I'm saying? Like, he approached the nigga in the middle of a game. I think that, to me, that is crazy. And to me, like you did say, you said it's for show. I feel like that is performative. That part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not the approach, but when he approached him and how he approached him and how he set up the approach. He didn't approach him by himself. He approached him with Markieff Morris and one of the assistant coaches.
Yeah, I see.
Now, that could have been, I need y'all to come with me to make sure I don't stay there too long to talk. I need y'all to come with me to make sure I don't put my hands on him. I need y'all to come with me just in case maybe this old ass nigga might lose his mind and y'all can stop him from, like whatever. But it definitely didn't look like he went over there alone. Looked like he went over there with backup, and not like backup like he needed, but backup of let me get this off real quick and let me get the fuck up out of there and get back to the game type shit. That's kind of what, but it definitely looked performative from that, right?
Yeah.
And if you take what Stephen A. said the other day, Stephen A. said he believes that it was definitely performative because he feels like that the person who recorded, because it's only one angle.
Bro, one angle,
it's
and
only
it was
one,
perfect.
And it was perfect. So Stephen A., he was like, and when you got done saying what you said, I didn't catch it at first, but after I went back and watched it, you looked directly at the camera. That was just so happened to be directly behind me. Like, they knew that's the only angle. Like, that is a little crazy that literally is.
Well, I was wondering that too. I was like, bro,
angle.
where's the other angles of this? And it wasn't any.
It just so happened it was one angle, perfect shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it does raise a little like, maybe this was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was.
But then even more so, it's like, how would they? I don't know.
How would who?
I don't know. How would they have known where to set somebody up for that?
Oh, well, they know he's courtside, so he's at a Lakers game, so they know where Stephen A. Smith is going to be sitting at.
True.
You know he's going to be sitting at. All right, cool. Hey, third quarter, I'm gonna do it.
Do you think players get a list of like celebrities that's coming to the game?
The Lakers do. The Lakers know who's courtside, because that's part of their thing is celebrities and showing them. They know.
Yeah.
You know, that's just a part. That's a part of any sports for real. They know who's in the boxes and the suites and all that shit. They know who's courtside. So no, it was no secret that he was there and where he was at. Plus, he was sitting with, I forgot the guy's name, but he was also there with Larry David, the writer and creator for Curb Your Enthusiasm and Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a secret, you know what I mean? So it could that's what I'm saying. Like there is a possibility that could have been a thing where it's like, hey, at this point in time of the game, I'm gonna be there. We don't even know that could have been fucking Bronny recording that shit. We don't know the fuck. It could have been Bryce, could have been Zuri, could have been Savannah. We don't know who. We don't know who.
So yeah, yeah,
we don't know who recorded that. We don't
know
who recorded that shit and put it on the timeline, right? But all we know is that it happened. Fast forward, we get to this to LeBron linking up with Pat McAfee for the, as Pat McAfee called it, the LeBron forsation. Is it what he called it?
Bro, a whole hour and 30-something minutes of just shit talking ESPN and Stephen A.
So this is the thing.
I was like, bro, like he literally and then I started thinking, I was like, did they have a game in Indiana?
Yes, so they had
a
game.
So that was.
So they had a game in Indiana. So the day that
I said, I don't see Bron flying from LA to Indiana just for this.
It was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So it was recorded the day before the game because the game, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. So I think the game was Wednesday.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah. So anyway, but he recorded it and then they did it and then they dropped it on the day of the game or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, he sits down with Pat McAfee, and I know my outlook might be a little bit different from yours and others, but like I look at it as it's ESPN playing both sides.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN is in bed with LeBron. They've been in bed with LeBron since the decision. You look around, it's a lot of clutch media affiliates that work at ESPN. Mm-hmm. Like you got it's just they're all spread around, right? What reason does LeBron have to go and sit down with Pat McAfee?
Zero. I thought it was the weirdest shit ever.
Zero. There's no reason, right?
I said, Pat, he ain't even invited Pat on his shit.
But it's not even that. Pat's not even a basketball guy.
That's what I mean by it. So it would have made sense had, and I hate to cut you off in your point, but I just want to say this before I forget it. It would have made more sense if LeBron went and did this had he, during football season, when they was recording on his show, uninterrupted and all of that.
Yeah.
When they was doing that, if bring Pat on. It's football season. We all know LeBron loves football season. Uh-huh. Football was really his first love. Basketball just happened to be something he was really good at.
Yeah. Facts.
And he ended up choosing basketball because of that.
Yeah.
He could have went either way, and everybody knows that. But to me, I was like, this would have made more sense if Pat would have came on his shit during football season. But as we all know, Pat's schedule during football season is...
It's hectic. It's definitely hectic, but this is...
Pat would have squared that end up.
But
he would have swung.
Oh, yeah, no.
To go hang out with LeBron and Mav and all of them.
So this is what I'm saying as far as it feels like there's another play. So Stephen A. just signed his contract. Mm-hmm. He just signed his, it was reported, $100 million, $20 million a year. A lot of money, right?
Whole lot.
A lot of money. I don't want to say he got lowballed, but he settled because it was reported last year I think early last year, like late 2023, when the negotiations were going to start, is that he was looking for something to rival what Pat McAfee got. Mm-hmm. But Pat McAfee's deal isn't from ESPN. They just inherited it. So it's a little bit different, but he wanted something that rivaled that. So he was looking for 25 per year. That's what he was looking for.
Yeah.
So to us, either way, $100 or $125 million, nigga, that's, what's that, 9 figures, 8 figures, whatever the fuck it is, 8 figures.
It's life-changing.
It's life-changing. You dig what I'm saying? Like, to us, cool.
You dig what I'm saying, pimp?
You know what I'm saying? To us, we like, shit, nigga, you could take a zero off that motherfucker. Give me 10, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
No, I need everything God got for me.
Take 2 zeros off that motherfucker. Just give me $1 million, right? So we would look at that different. But as somebody like Stephen A., who has been doing it and has the cachet, and he's helped build and elevate ESPN to the point of where ESPN is today over the past 15 years.
Yeah.
120. If I can't settling for 100 when I'm asking for 125, which in my eyes would probably still be a deal. That I don't want to say a red flag, but it causes me to think. It's like, okay, the negotiations lasted almost 2 years, about a year and a half, about 16, 18 months. Negotiations lasted for over a year and a half. He took less than what he was initially asking for. Then when they spoke about it on air, he didn't say how much he got, but he was like, those reports ain't true. I got less than that.
Yeah.
So he might have got less than 100, but I'm going to go off what was reported that he got 100. Now, also what was in his deal was he would only be doing First Take. His NBA countdown shit that he normally do, that he's going to do this year as well. He's not doing that next year no more. That shit's dead. All the extra stuff that he might have been doing and going to his traveling to certain games, that's not going to be a part of his contract no more. So they cut out a lot of the stuff that a year or two ago they probably would have had to pay him the 125 for. They cut out mad shit, kind of icing him out. ESPN's also kind of, they're moving on from NBA. So NBA is still going to come on ESPN, ABC. But NBA is really going to be in bed heavy with NBC and Amazon Prime. Those are going to be their shits. Like that's where it's going to be at. And who knows? Eventually, the finals will probably fuck around and be on NBC, Peacock. Which all these moves line up. This is why ESPN got rid of Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson last year, because it's like we're distancing ourselves from the NBA. We don't really care about the NBA Finals product, which everybody loved. People love Mike Breen with Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson. Like that was the three. That was the highlight of ESPN broadcasted games. Like, you know how Turner, TNT, they got the Inside NBA. Everybody want to see Ernie, Chuck, Kenny, Shaq. They want to see them, right? Well, when people came to watch the marquee NBA games, we want to hear Mike Breen with Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson. Yeah. They didn't care about the product. They didn't care about the product no more. So we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna start to diminish and sully the product gradually as time goes, so that when we can really push away from the table and I want to deal with the NBA no more, it's easy for us to do that because we haven't invested in it like we wanted to keep it. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't get rid of Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy at the same time if something else isn't in the play. Yeah. At least that's how I looked at it. So now we fast forward to now. ESPN has already cut ties with MLB. The MLB and ESPN, well, I don't say ESPN, MLB and Disney don't have a relationship anymore. That's number one. Number two, it's already been set that the NBA and ESPN, or NBA and Disney, are kind of getting a little bit separate. Of course, they're not going to be fully done with each other, but the investment's not the same. Yeah. The NFL and ESPN are back in talks for ESPN. Well, excuse me, I keep saying ESPN, but Disney. Disney is in talks. Which is ESPN? Anyway, they're in talks to get the media coverage rights to the NFL Network and Red Zone. So basically what would happen was, if that happens, they are under the ESPN umbrella. The NFL Network and Red Zone. That is major. They're discussing a $5 billion deal. Yeah. $5 billion, right? In return, part of the deal, the NFL gets equity in ESPN. So now it goes from just being a deal, now it's really a partnership. Because we want our product that y'all have control over to do really, really good, because then it makes us more money. So as ESPN grows, the NFL, who have equity in that. You see what I'm saying? Kind of goes hand in hand. So
follow me.
Yeah. So it's not even really a deal. It's really a partnership, right?
He said, now I'm saying all that to say LeBron James and Stephen A.
Stay with me now.
Bro, it's building this motherfucker's plot.
So look.
It's building this plot.
Who's the biggest personality on ESPN?
Stephen A.
Stephen A. fucking Smith. We all know that. Today he is. Tomorrow he's not. And I'm not saying literally tomorrow, but as we get further and further and further down the line, the biggest personality on ESPN is Pat McAfee. Stephen A. 1A, Pat McAfee 1B. They're really neck and neck, right?
Yeah.
Happened overnight. And I don't know if people stop following this, but Stephen A. and Pat McAfee, they got a little beef.
Yeah, they do.
They got a little beef. It's not
Pat made some.
it's not a beef to where, oh, I hate you, I don't want to see you win. It's a beef of they were supposed to ESPN was gonna work on something to get something to where Pat and Stephen A were gonna be potentially working together on something. They couldn't come to terms because of let's just say creative differences.
Yeah.
And I can imagine what the creative difference was is, nigga, who's going to be the lead? Pat's looking at it like, I don't need Stephen A. Stephen A's looking at it like, I don't need Pat. All right. ESPN's looking at it like, we like what Pat's doing.
Yeah.
What Pat's doing isn't costing us a thing. His production, his studio, it's all his shit. All we have to do is distribute it.
Yeah.
That's it. We distribute his show for 2 hours a day. That's it. Anything that he does now, yeah, he might use our studio for something every now and then if he comes to New York. Mm-hmm. But the camera crew, the cameras, the mics, that's all his shit.
Yeah. And instead of really paying somebody to come in, use our shit to do the same thing he's doing at his shit, like, he's already got everything set up. He don't have to go nowhere. All we got to do is just tap into the broadcast.
Exactly. And so even as far as paying the people,
which makes sense because a lot of those football shows.
Yeah, and even as far as paying the people on Pat, so like it's like when he brings on his guests, like when he pays Nick Saban and Aaron Rodgers, that's his own money. Yeah. His staff, that's his own money. Now he gets a check from ESPN, but that's it. ESPN doesn't have they don't pay for nothing else as far as the Pat McAfee show, as far as it is produced, and as far as that goes. So Pat McAfee is eventually gonna be the biggest name at ESPN. He might already be, right?
Yeah.
And with ESPN moving on from Stephen A. Smith, moving on from the NBA, I'm not saying that there's no need for Stephen A. Smith, but it's like the NBA isn't the pinnacle of ESPN coverage right now. It's not. Like ESPN has made it widely known that they're gonna start focusing more on college sports a little bit more. They already did, but they're gonna start doing it more, which is why they got the SEC network deal. So now all SEC games, because remember, SEC used to come on CBS, football, basketball, shit's over with. Yeah. It's all ESPN now. That matters. So they're focusing on SEC. They not saying that it's not warranted, but the SEC basketball conference this year had 14 teams in the NCAA tournament. They made fucking history. It's not a coincidence that it's the first year that they were in bed with ESPN. It's not a coincidence, okay? All this shit matters. Showing teams on TV all the time, it matters. Like every time I turn on ESPN, I'm seeing SEC schools play basketball. I'm automatically going to feel like they're great, they're good, and they were good. SEC was good in basketball. It's probably been the best basketball conference over the past 5 years. 14 teams in the tournament is insane to me.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That used to be the Big East.
But they never had 14, though. 14 is not the 14 crazy.
No, the Big East, bro.
Never had 14 is a record.
I know it's a record.
But the Big East definitely had a lot. Yeah, the Big East about 10, 11.
14 definitely is like
10, 11, maybe 12, but 14, it's like the 14th best team in the conference.
That took over.
It's crazy. So it's like, all right, cool. So ESPN is already pivoting away from the NBA. If they get this deal, Pat McAfee will do the same thing that he did for College Game Day. He's going to save it. I'm not saying College Game Day was going to go away, but College Game Day had lost its luster. You got to think. Lee Corso was kind of the energy. He was the guy, but as he got older and as he got sicker, he couldn't do what he was doing over the past years and really kind of carrying the show with the headgear and being kind of like the comedic guy of it. So you bring in Pat, you bring back Pat. Pat's doing it. People love him. The kids love him. He can relate with him. He got the whole kicking the field goal thing to give out the scholarship money. He's doing his thing. He kind of revived.
Definitely revived
College Game Day on Saturday.
Bro, because those 2 years, I remember they brought him on just like as a special guest.
Yes.
And he killed it.
Smacking it.
Crushed it as a special guest.
Yeah.
And it was just like, bro, what the hell? So, and then from there, it was like kind of slow appearances every now and then. And then it was just them. Mm-hmm. And then out of nowhere, like the next season that started, boom, Pat McAfee was there every weekend.
Yeah. and but it needed that.
He's been there what for the last 3 seasons?
So now think.
3-4 seasons.
So now think. ESPN has Sunday NFL Countdown every Sunday.
Yeah.
Cool. It's decent. You got the added Green. You got Rex Ryan. Randy was on. I don't know if Randy will be back next year because I know he was dealing with the liver cancer. I think he beat it, but I don't know if he'll be back or not. Hopefully he will.
Yeah.
But let's say that they get this deal done with NFL.
Yeah.
Pat will be involved in something, whether it will be the Monday night countdown or it will be the Sunday countdown during the morning, or it could be both. But he will be the face, because you always need a face. You always need a guy that you can attach whatever you're doing with that.
You think he'll Adam Sandler that shit?
What do you mean?
Bring his people?
No, he wouldn't.
Like how Adam Sandler does all types of movies, but uses the same people in every movie.
No, but that wouldn't be the issue. That wouldn't be a problem because he would still do his show every day. So Monday, they just like they do now, they do shit on Monday, right? Like sometimes they be in the same, like they'll be at the stadium and they'll do a show from the stadium. Like they have done that before. I'm not saying all the time, but they have done that for football. So that wouldn't be nothing that I don't think they would stop, but he would be the cornerstone face of the NFL product because that would be ESPN's quote unquote selling point. It's like, yeah, we got a guy that we can build this around.
Yeah.
Kind of like how ESPN, we can build this stuff around Stephen A. Smith. Like Stephen A. is involved or was involved with almost anything NBA, whether it was the coverage, it was calling him on the phone, or a big trade happened, they call him on the phone, he's talking like all type of shit, right?
Yeah. A
lot of that shit's gonna start to change. But you watch ESPN, I see them as UMG in this situation. And I'm dead ass. I look at Stephen A. You can say Stephen A. is Drake, and you can say Bron is Kendrick. And LeBron had no reason to go to Pat McAfee. I think that was a call from ESPN. Now, if Pat McAfee is hip or not hip, whatever, but he's not going to turn down a LeBron James interview. Nobody's going to turn down a LeBron James interview. Like, you'd be foolish to do that, right?
I mean, and Pat, his show is slowly becoming the place where athletes, coaches, people go to get their shit off.
Facts. And so,
because this is technically a YouTube channel.
It is, which is why they had the one that came on air was censored, but then they dropped the uncensored version on YouTube as well. Yeah. So you Pat McAfee, you get the LeBron interview. Bron going to Pat McAfee is like, oh, I'm looking at Stephen A. Oh, you think you running shit? Yeah. Well, you know what I'm about to do? You know what we about to do? We gonna give your main opposition the biggest interview. The biggest interview he's ever had, and the biggest interview since nigga my decision. Ain't been ESPN ain't had an interview air on their airways from somebody like me in whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you ain't a part of that. Yeah. But the person that you think is below you, who's about to be the face of this network, I'm gonna give it to him. Yeah. Now his cachet is through the roof. So now, motherfuckers look at Pat, they're like, damn, he linking up with Nick Saban. He linking up with Aaron Rodgers. He linking up with Bill Belichick. And he got Bron in the tuck. Damn. Yep. Damn. Stephen A. can't say that. So now ESPN is like, I mean, if anything, we can just send guys, we can send basketball players to go talk to Pat. Yeah. They don't have to say. Matter of fact, the basketball players might be more willingly to go sit down with Pat than to sit down with you.
You know what this kind of reminds me of?
What?
When Fred Taylor and them left and created the Pivot, and then Brandon Marshall and them was left with their podcast, and then it was just like, we can get people you can't. Yeah, but we can also get people that you can't either. Yeah. It's kind of got that essence to it.
To an extent, because I think Stephen A. is aware. I think he's been aware, not even just based off this. I think he's been aware since the negotiations, like, oh, they might try to ice me out. Yeah. Because it's getting to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting to that point with any contracts and negotiator, because they did it to Skip. They didn't want to give Skip what Skip was asking for, and they told him to go out there and find it. But you know why? Because they felt like we got Stephen A. Smith, and we feel like we can do the same, if not better, with him. We don't need you anymore, bro.
Yeah.
So if you think you're gonna go find that somewhere else, go find it. But we're good. We'll stay with Stephen A. Smith, and that's what they did, and it worked out for them. It literally worked out. That's literally what's happening here. They looking at Pat McAfee as he's Stephen A. Smith 15 years ago. And they looking at Stephen A. Smith like he's Skip Bayless. And they like, nigga, we don't need you, bro.
Yeah.
Because at that time, 15 years ago, the NBA was taking off. The super teams. Bron went to Miami. The Heatles, like the NBA was peaking, going crazy. And it's still doing good, but it's not doing what it was doing back then as far as like literally looking like the most watched and most beloved sport as far as just social media and what people wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna hold you. If the NBA ain't on TNT, I'm not watching.
You don't want to watch it, right? But about 15 years ago, oh, I'm not watching them. Bro, we would get the New York Knicks Melo versus the Heat on a Wednesday or Friday night. I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
Now I don't give a fuck about watching Tyler Hero play Jalen Brunson. The fuck? Cut this shit off, man. Like, but that's the sentiment.
I feel like it's always been like that though. Nobody really watches the NBA until after All-Star weekend, anyways, because football goes so long.
Well, but it used to be matchup heavy. So like we used to look at match. We used to look ahead, and
yeah, I mean like Christmas.
And so
Christmas was always a big deal,
and that's another thing. So like we haven't had Christmas jerseys in how long? We used to get Christmas jerseys every year. We used to get Christmas jerseys, St. Patrick's jerseys, nigga, MLK Day jersey. Like, bro, we used to get jerseys.
Black History Month.
We used to get jerseys for everything, nigga. Spanish night, Heritage night, and like all type of. We don't do that shit no more. Yeah. They don't do that. They rarely. It's like it's lost its recipes, bro. And like we used to look for matchups, bro. We used to. Oh shit, Chris Paul is playing Steph Curry.
Adam Silver?
He's a part of it. It's a combination of he's at fault. He's at fault. The players are at fault, and I will say that the media is at fault as well.
David Stern would have never let this shit happen.
David Stern wouldn't have let a lot of shit happen. David Stern wouldn't have let a lot of shit happen. So Adam Silver is not what do we call it? Omitted from any type of blame. Mm-hmm. He definitely has. He's a part of it, But yeah, bro, I'm just looking at this situation like I feel like, and it just seems like ESPN is setting it up to when it comes down to move on from Stephen A. Smith, there's no hiccup, right? Mm-hmm. And there might not be no blowback because honestly, I don't think he finishes this deal. I think he either leaves or he gets fired before this deal is up. Are they agreed to part ways? But yes, I don't think Stephen A. Smith finishes out this deal with ESPN. And if he does finish out this deal, when that deal is approaching to be done, he'll be, I'm not coming back. These are my last days at ESPN.
So you think First Take is dying?
I think they'll keep First Take because it's a staple. But it's a reason why he never was adamant about finding another co-host. He wanted to keep it a moving chair. Yeah, it's always people in and out. You got your certain days. You on this week. You on this week. Like,
but you got your certain times a year.
It's been like that since Max left, right? I think he's done that on purpose,
which makes sense. I feel like his ratings are way higher and better football season than they are going into basketball season and the end of basketball season. Yeah. And then baseball season, it's like Stephen A's low key non-existent.
Yeah. Well, baseball season in the summer, he really not there. He takes his vacation this month. You know, that's just with anything though. That's their down year. Their down time of the year is the summer. But yeah, just watching and paying attention to the shit, bro. It's like I don't think he's gonna finish the contract, bro. Like I really feel like that, and it could be by the end of this whole fucking beef with Bron, because Stephen A. hasn't said anything, but he has alluded to like, bro, I could really say some shit and really fuck this shit up. Yeah. Like, I know some shit that the public don't know. Not even don't know, like I know some shit basketball related Like maybe, you know, a little bit of roids. You know what I'm saying? You know, a little bit. And I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. Can we have a realistic conversation about LeBron James just for 2 minutes?
Go ahead.
He's been in the league for 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not even just a guy that's in the league for 22 years. He's been that nigga for 22 years, right? Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Astrofucking-nomical, right? Drake was Drake for about 15 years. Still going, but Drake is Drake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is under the assumption, and if you understand anything about the music industry, hey, Drake doesn't become Drake without getting help.
Yeah.
Drake doesn't maintain being Drake without getting help. Whether it's help from people in the studio or if it's help from the people who run these labels and these radio stations and
About to get good.
and they pressing these buttons and shit. Like, we understand there's help.
Yeah.
Right? We can all agree, we can see it. Nigga, you get help with your records. Most top artists get help with their records.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right. Why is it so taboo? Or when people say, hey, I think LeBron at some point or currently took PEDs of some sort, whether it was EPOs or whatever, he did that because you don't play at this high of a level that long.
I mean, people
without it.
Ain't nobody not said that.
No, they've said it, but every time that it's said, the rebuttal is, you ain't got to prove. You ain't got to prove. And it's like, that's the point of them taking this shit. They're not gonna openly take it. Like, bro, y'all, the public is weird. The public only requests proof of something when they like somebody. If they don't like, if majority of the public didn't like LeBron, there would be no need to have proof that he was on PEDs. You would just believe it because your eyes and looking at the context, you'd be like, yo, something's not right with this.
All it would take is the right person to say that.
But that's what I'm saying. There are some people that can.
Think about the downfall of like athletes, like Barry Bonds. Yeah. Like nobody, it took the right commentator or sports analyst to be like.
But the thing about Barry,
same thing with Mark McGwire, the same thing with.
Not a thing, but I'm gonna tell you about the difference between those two.
With Ryan Garcia and shit like that, like people who's on PEDs and all that shit, like something's off. It's too good. Too good.
So with Barry, even before he got popped for the PEDs, if you ask, I'm not a baseball historian, but if you ask anybody who like really watches love baseball, they'll tell you that motherfucker was a Hall of Famer before the PEDs.
Yeah.
He was already a 4-time, 5-time Golden Glove. Like, he was really that nigga already. But he just took it over the top.
I remember I went to the Cincinnati Red game, bro, just to see, hoping that he would break the record at the game.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
Nah,
he didn't do it. No, but the way
they walked him the whole game, bro.
And that's the thing, and that's how people talk about Barry Bonds. They like, bro, like with or without PEDs, that motherfucker has one of the greatest. You could take away the season with PEDs, still one of the greatest players ever.
Yeah.
So they like, a lot of people feel like he should be in the Hall of Fame. Of course, he's not going to, but they feel like he should because they're like, bro, erase those years.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his resume.
Yeah,
he's in there. You know what I'm saying? Mark McGwire, that's a little different conversation. Like I said, I'm not a baseball historian, so I can't really speak on Mark McGwire, but I just know about the Barry Bonds is you could take away them steroids, he's still. And I don't think Bron has been on any PEDs his entire career, right? But I do think if at any time he was, it would be within the last 5 years. He's 40.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not like, bro, like just naturally. I don't care how much money you spend. And you know, like it's been a myth that LeBron spends $1 million on his body every year.
Which he
confirmed things. That's not even true. He's like, I spend money. He's like, I definitely invest, but not $1 million.
Like $1 million.
I don't know where they got that number from. But that's
he answered a lot of myths on that show.
But that's what I'm saying though. People been saying that for years, and nobody's ever questioned if it was true or not. They just say, well, damn, he does spend $1 million on his body. He get into the best shape ever. Nobody questioned it, right? I didn't need no proof that he spends $1 million. The proof that he spends $1 million on his body was his play, right? I can also say that the proof that this nigga's on PEDs is his play.
I felt, because we've seen 4 different versions of LeBron James.
Yes.
We saw,
and I think the best version was his second version in Cleveland, 28. But that's.
yeah, we saw rookie LeBron growing up,
Heat LeBron.
kept going to the finals. Then Heat LeBron was just diesel.
He was
Diesel as fuck.
He was on.
And if we was gonna test for PEDs, that was the time, brother. Then we see second stint at Cleveland.
Yeah,
he's still big, but he's starting to trim. He's starting to slim out.
Man. Yeah.
And then from there, now we got this LeBron, which I guess now that's really just three different. Because I feel like now he's even more thin than he was after he got to.
It's about the same. Second stint in Cleveland. It's about the same. But that's what I'm saying. Like that Miami, for like, bro, they say.
Not Cleveland, LA.
So they say Bron came in the league at 250 and 18. And now people still think he's still 250 pounds. You think a nigga that's been playing basketball for 22 years, who grew up and he became a grown man. So as an 18-year-old child, he was 250. He got bigger. You're telling me he's still 250? I'm without a shadow of a doubt. When he was in Miami, he was playing no less than 280, 285, bro.
I believe that. And moving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and so I'm not saying that you don't get there with that, but it's just, bro, I understand it. Like the NBA and ESPN, they've invested so much in LeBron. They wanted him, like he's the face. He still is, quote unquote, the face. That's why the league is struggling to find a new face. But you can't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
Yeah.
Like you can't show me something like this and I not assume or believe that this nigga isn't on PEDs or something.
Yeah.
Bro. To a certain extent. I'm not saying that he wouldn't be one of the best ever or Hall of Famer without the PEDs, but it just depends on when he started that shit.
You over your 2-minute limit.
I know. I gave a Dre 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Not a real 2 minutes. Real 2 minutes would have been over 10 minutes ago.
It wouldn't have been an episode if you didn't talk shit about LeBron.
That's not true. That's not true. But I will say this though. I do think more people need to take a page out of my book. All right. You know, don't see. Look, man, y'all gotta understand, man. See, Stephen A. should have came to me about taking shots at Bron. Bro, I would have schooled. I'd have said, bro, listen, man, you can't mishap. Like you can't fuck. Like he fucked up the other day, and he said that Bron wasn't at Kobe's funeral. Bron was at Kobe's funeral. He just didn't want to be on camera. Yeah. Totally understandable, right? But he misspoke. But I know why he misspoke, because he was very adamant about LeBron not going to D Wade's a Hall of Fame introduction or fucking retirement ceremony, whatever the fuck it was. But LeBron didn't go. Mm-hmm. And Stephen A. was like, that's bullshit. You should win. That's your man's. Like, when you retire, Wade's gonna be there. Yeah. When you retire, Melo's gonna be there. These supposed to be your boys. This is a dude you won championships with. Why weren't you there? Yeah. But I think he was so angry and so flustered with this week, he got his ideas fucked up. And I think he was really supposed to say, you didn't go to Wade's ceremony, but you know what I'm saying? But he really was at Kobe's shit, so he fucked up. I would have schooled him on that. Say, hey, bro, get you a script. Write this shit down. Make sure you hit your key points. Because if not, if you fuck up anything, the social media is going to be on your ass. And as soon as he fucked up, social media was on his ass. like if this was a playoff series, he's down 3-0 right now. Yeah. Stephen A., you gotta drop that nuke, brother. If you got any type of tidbits, information of Bron failing a drug test, failing any type of drug fest, whatever, you got to tell it now, bro, because you down 3-0. I ain't even gonna say you down 3-1. You down 3-0. Like, you got to drop the nuke, bro. You got to tell the world whatever it is you know. You got to speak on it, bro. You got to speak on it. But we'll leave that there. We're going to get out in a second. I do want to ask you one more thing, bro, because I think I asked you earlier. But I want you to speak on this. This is more your expertise, man. What's your man's Marvin Sapp? The clip has been rolling around on social media for about 3 days, I think, of him asking for $40,000 from his congregation. And is that what it's called, congregation? Yeah. From his congregation. He closed the doors. He didn't lock the doors, but he had the ushers close the doors to influence people to be encouraged to donate so they could get $40,000.
I haven't watched that entire service or seen the entire video to see. I just saw the excerpt of him. Hey, ushers, I said close the door.
Mm-hmm.
Close the door. And it was like, bro, what in the Joe Clark is going on at this church? Like, bro, what do you mean close the doors? Like, bro, what? But I understand he was trying to get people to donate. Donate for what? I do not know, but
Need a new
he was
Lamborghini.
trying to equivalent. He was basically saying we can collect $40,000 right now. What that $40,000 was for, I don't know. It looked bad, and a lot of stuff can be taken out of context. Now,
Real bad.
this isn't like Mike Todd who was spitting in his hands
Yeah,
and touching people's face and spitting on people and stuff.
Crazy. That was crazy.
Pouring syrup in the Bible and
Yeah.
getting all crazy. I don't think it's...
Yeah, that was more flagrant. Like I'm playing. That was more so. This is your book that you read, you worship. I'm a piss on it.
Yeah. They somewhat in a sense. He I really don't know about the whole Marvin Sapp thing. Like that's just kind of strange. I don't know. I have been at churches and the preachers definitely be like, "Hey, I want everybody to give and give tremendously. Give like you not expecting a gift back from God."
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. And then they also ask for like certain amounts depending on the day, the time of year, the event, like church anniversary, pastor's anniversary, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you're asked to give that type of money. But to tell the ushers to close the door, keep the lights on, and then turn around and looked at everybody and was like, everybody up here, I expect X amount. He was like, I know the preachers, we talked 1,000 or 100 or whatever the amount was. I think it was crazy, but I don't know. I don't follow his church. I don't follow him as a preacher. So I can't really speak on it. Is it strange? Does it sound strange? Yes, it does. But I know a member like me would have been up at her. Would have changed that letter quick, bro. What you mean, bro?
Yeah, what you mean? I think for me when I first seen it, I was definitely like, that ain't how it's supposed to go.
I know I said a whole bunch of nothing without saying nothing, but
yeah. But I'm just saying, just even from a person, like, I'm not in it like that, but I just look at, I'm like, bro, I don't think that's how it's supposed to go. I don't think you're supposed to coerce or bully or pressure people into giving money. You know what I'm saying? Because again, everybody who comes to church isn't coming with the idea or the thought of giving money without getting quote unquote something in return. That's natural.
Yeah,
that's natural.
That's what you call sowing the seed.
Yeah, that's just natural, right?
You're giving.
And so for somebody to be like, hey, this is what I need. Matter of fact, we getting that before we leave.
Yeah,
that's almost like, oh, this nigga done turned into a mob boss.
I mean, the Bible says to be a cheerful giver.
Yeah,
and to give without, you know what I'm saying, give without such an expectation that something's gonna happen, that you're gonna receive something from it, and that's where you get like the term sowing a seed, that sort of thing, or paying something forward, or something like that. But to like be forced or told like you're gonna give $100 before you leave, like bro, what?
Yeah, no, that's crazy. No,
that, like, bro, come on, man. What you mean? I'm gonna give?
That was crazy. I ain't giving you shit.
So what? If I don't, I'm not a member here no more.
If I don't, you gonna stop me from leaving?
Yeah.
Line
would have grabbed the usher like that. He said,
"Line all these ushers up.
Open up the door.
We doing the Oklahoma drill one by one. I'm running through each one of you nicks.
You're gonna be like Dominique swimming through the crowd, bro. Bro, he was
that's a Willie Mammoth going crazy.
I said, oh my God, he's lost his mind.
Bro, I'll never forget that. Bro.
I said, bro, you had more technique buttered than you did on the field. That's crazy.
Nigga turned into Reggie White.
Bro.
But yeah, no, I
turned into Khalil Mack, bro.
I definitely did. I thought that was crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, again, like, that's just, to me, I feel like, and I definitely feel like that coming. I'm like, bro, you rich, right? Like you.
That's kind of how I felt too.
Like, you made a living.
It would have been dope if he would have did that, and the church just be like.
It would have been dope if he was like, look, y'all, we need $40,000 to da 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 da. I'm gonna donate personally $40,000 myself.
Yeah.
I'm asking y'all to match.
Hopefully that's what that video was.
It's not what the fuck
Is exactly. But I'm just saying,
But
like
that-
the
but that's-
whole
but-
in its entirety.
Yeah.
Because we just heard the
That
video.
part.
All the clips I seen was Usher shut the door. It starts there.
Yeah, type shit. Yeah.
Every video that I've seen starts with Usher shut the door.
Usher shut the door.
And then that's when he's like, it's 100-something people online. So that's $100 like a person and this and third. He was like, combined with everybody, that's $40,000. So hopefully the beginning of that is him being like, I put up 40. I want to see my church do something crazy.
Yeah.
I would love to see my church do something crazy. And I want to ask the ushers to, because I think I seen another video where it was just like, they kind of explained, he didn't tell us we couldn't leave.
Yeah,
he just was like, usher shut the doors to not give anybody any type of impression, like,
to walk in.
Y'all can get up and go right now if y'all not feeling this. But
that's coercion.
That would make me want to leave even
more.
But
that's so now you're pressuring me based off my subconscious. Like,
bro, what? I went to a funeral once during work. Well, I went to the beginning of it, and the preacher in there, they was calling him a prophet. Well, I didn't know he was they called him I didn't know he was a prophet until I was trying to leave. Well, the preacher, he's like the woman's son, he gets up and now he's talking and he's just like, everybody lift your hands, this, that, and the third. And I was like, all right, I gotta go. I done stayed, you feel me? Mm-hmm. Paying my respects, telling my peoples, my family and friends, like, bro, all right, I gotta get back to work. Bro, I get to the door, she was like, no one can leave when the prophet is prophesying. I said, huh?
I just said, you and this prophet.
I said, huh? What you mean? And she was just like, he's prophesying right now. You can't leave. And I was like, Miss Ma'am, he ain't saying nothing, but can everybody just give God a hand clap of praise? That's not prophesying. He isn't like, what are we talking about right now? This is a call and response, if more than anything. He's called everybody to stand and clap.
Yeah.
Everybody is responding. I even clapped. Before I got up to get up and leave.
Before I realized what I was doing, I was clapping.
I was. Well, nah, like I was clapping.
The fuck is this? The fuck? What the hell? What are you doing to me?
But I mean, saying all that to say, like, I've been in churches where, like, they definitely have been like, nah, y'all can't leave. Like, doors are shut, y'all can't leave until he's done. And I was standing there and I was like, Miss Ma'am, I gotta get back to work. Like, I understand, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Like, I'm a child of God myself. Like, trying to talk to her, bro, she wasn't budging. It took everything in me not to be like, excuse me.
I'd have just moved her. I just moved her. Miss Ma'am, listen, do you want...
The only reason I didn't is because it was a funeral and I was scared that she would have been like, and now everybody's staring.
And I would have said, the bitch won't move. That's what the first thing I said. She wouldn't move, y'all. I had to take matters into my own hands. All right? I was getting out this door. And I'm pretty sure that was the only way out, too. That was that was the only way out. So it's like,
set of doors to get in.
I would have said, man.
I mean, they had side doors like towards the out, but it was just like where the closest to my car. Yeah. I'd never been in this church before. I don't know to take the side door and how to get back to the front.
Yeah,
like I could have ventured off like that, but it was just like, bro, I ain't got time.
I would have just politely, I would have politely muscled her out the way.
So is this you gotta relax?
Yeah, we can say that. Yeah, get out of people's way. That's my you gotta relax. Move out the way. That's it. It's not hard. If somebody wants to leave, let them leave, okay? If he didn't want to be around the prophet prophesizing, then he just missed out on the prophecy, okay? And that sounds like a personal problem. It's not your job nor your place to keep him inside to listen to the prophet, okay? Because now you fucking with his prophet. See what I did there? See what I did there? Nigga got bars, nigga. That's a double entendre.
Bro, I was like B-Lou for a second, bro. Like I had to let charge.
No,
he's an idiot,
bro.
Is he really that dumb, or is he just playing around?
No, he's stupid, bro.
Is he really?
Bro, did you see? It's two videos. Did you see the one where when they was about to get 5 million subscribers?
No,
I'm gonna show you that one. Did you see the one where he got on? The nigga got on Google. He opened up Safari.
Then he went to Google to go to Google?
He Googled Google, bro.
Bro, Zeus was like, he was watching him do it. He He went on Google. The Google logo went in the bar,
Google.
typed in Google. And then it was like google.com. Then he clicked it. Then it went back to that same bar. Zeus was like, bro, what the
What are you doing?
He was like, what are you doing? He
But
was like, bro, I'm going on Google.
I'm gonna have to show you that.
Bro, and then there was another clip, bro. It was like a multiple choice. It was like select the one that's not like the others.
Yeah.
And it was like apple, grapes, carrots, oranges.
Yeah.
He selected oranges. And dude was like, I know he's fucking playing. He's got to be playing. Zeus was sitting there dying left. Yeah, carrots is not like the others.
It's a vegetable.
Like what we talk, like, bro. And I was like, bro, he's doing this on purpose. He's got to be.
No, bro, he's really an idiot. I'm gonna show you a clip, but yeah, what that was my you gotta relax is get out of people's ways. You got anything that gotta relax?
Allergy season, man. Hopefully it relaxes this year. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Hopefully it's we can because some allergy medicine, bro, you gotta get over the counter.
Some allergy,
and like literally over the counter. Like you got to go to the back pharmacy where the pills, the prescriptions and stuff, and like safe as like Zyrtec D or something like that. Like I eventually stopped taking stuff like that, but I just take the regular. But hopefully allergy season is friendly to everybody who's already struggling, got the sniffles. Ain't nothing worse than being at work and you look over at your coworker who just keep like blowing their nose. And you just like, it's nasty either way, but it's like, is it allergy blowing your nose or you got a cold?
It could be both. You can get allergies.
You want to know how you can tell the difference between the sinus and allergies?
Because you're coughing.
Nah, sinuses is gonna be clear.
We talking about what?
Like your snot, your mucus is clear.
Yeah.
If it's sinuses, your mucus is clear. If it's yellow, green, all that shit, you might got a little bit of extra going on.
You got a little bit of that.
Yeah. Mucinex D.
A little bit of ism. I said ism. I ain't say.
I said.
I ain't say that. I say you got a little bit of ism.
But which? Those last 4 letters.
It's only one.
Those last 4 letters.
Yeah, but it's only like it's literally to the stupid.
We're gonna have to bleep this out. Hey man, look, if all hearts and minds is clear, man, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, bro. Before we get in trouble again. And that be that on that, man. Well, like always, man, tell your mom and them we say, hey, hopefully see y'all next episode. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, man. If that's it,
that's it.
Y'all know how we do, man. Peace.
Peace.